Hello, everyone. I'm Carla. I'm a food addict, compulsive eater, and I, like you, weigh and measure 3 meals a day from the gray sheet. I write those meals down. I commit them to my sponsor. I eat those meals and nothing else in between. Just for today, abstinence is the most important thing in my life without exception. And one day at a time, just one day at a time, I make my abstinence first, and I've been doing it since March 31st, 2007, which is just such an absolute miracle. You know, Gray Sheet is by far the only thing that the longest standing relationship I have, number one, and the longest commitment that I've made to anything, no matter what, and a testament to God and Gray Sheet, because I really get that I can't do this alone, you know, and through Gray Sheet, I get to know that there's so much I can't do alone, but also that I don't have to. I'm going to jump all around today, try to keep up with me, because just giving myself that permission, it's helpful. I come by my food addiction earnestly. I really, looking back, feels like, you know, I had a God-sized hole from as long as I can remember. You know, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. I was born 14 years after my nearest sibling. You know, the oldest, my sister, you know, she was doing everything. She was really good. And my brother was really bad, overgeneralizing. So he needed all of my parents' attention. And so I came along and, you know, they were just kind of over-parenting. And so I feel like I just came out searching, and I found food right away. It helped that my dad worked for a really large food manufacturer and corporation. And so we have things in our house that most people didn't consider staples. It was very exciting. And so I began this, you know, I'm going to say love affair. It was so comforting. And I was a good eater, and that was something I got attention for. And my parents took me to restaurants when they said they didn't take, you know, my older sister or brother because they were so picky, and I wasn't picky, and they would, you know, laud me in front of their friends as a good eater. And, you know, I thought that was a good thing at the time. And so I manifest in all the ways. And I started putting on weight probably around puberty. I'm not exactly sure why, but my parents did start. My mom had me on a diet when I was in 5th grade. I took a half of the ha-ha and then, you know, just a couple of other things. And so I would just, I was just there and started out, you know, asking my friends, oh, are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat that? I was done with my meal so quickly that I was just up in their grill about what they were eating. And oftentimes, you know, they were very generous about, and there were people who didn't eat all their food, and so they'd give it to me. And then, you know, and then I was coercive, and I wrangled to get food and promised things and did this and did that. And so I started putting on weight. And in high school, I started drinking and picking up other things because I really, really, you know, I was trying to fill this hole. I was not, you know, my family life and growing up was tricky enough. I didn't know what to do with that kind of pain. And so I was stuffing it down, you know, I was stuffing it down. And so then I turned to kind of using relationships. And one of the ways, I was not a candidate for a boyfriend because I was fat, and I decided this probably first. And so I just decided that I wanted to be in the middle of the herd. And I was born with a sense of humor, and realized early on that was an attractive thing. So it became a really big coping mechanism for me. And also, you know, and got that if I knew everything, if I was the gossip that knew all the things, that was going to make me attractive to people. And so that was my goal, was to be in the center of that herd, which hasn't been all bad. And so that's how that worked for me. And I'm not sure why this is, but I often say in a qualification that I know a lot of us are really overachievers, it seems like. And I'm not from that ilk. I'm from the just getting by club, just, you know, just skimming by. So, so I would, you know, I had a lot of ill-suiting jobs, mostly, you know, through people I knew. I didn't really seek out a job or education until I was probably in my late 20s. And that could be because I burned so many bridges. I stole, cheated, lied. You know, I stole money from my dad, all, you know, all through high school, lied about that. You know, I was manipulative and unkind to, and would go behind friends' back to be liked better than another friend. So I would, you know, steal friends from friends. And then at a certain point, I tried to steal partners from friends. I don't mean to make it sound like that was once, like I needed to say that. So basically, it seemed as though whatever was in between me and my addiction, me and my food, it just couldn't be there. So I went on all the diets, right? All the diets. Paid all kinds of money to lose the same 60 or 80 pounds over and over and over again. I'm 5'2", and I was 5'2" at my statuesque level. I'm probably about 5'1", because I actually lost height when I lost weight. Because initially I lost 165 pounds on Grey Sheet, and then one of my biggest, no matter what, was that I gained 42 pounds in Grey Sheet, and truly, it's been one of the biggest bits of experience, strength, and hope that I have to offer to other Grey Sheeters. Because you know what? Sometimes it happens. I don't mean to scare anyone, but whatever you've got going on, girlfriend, boyfriend, probably shouldn't use that language. There are people here who it has happened to. That's how we get through the no matter what. That's you know, in my way of looking at things, that's one of the main reasons that we have to pick up that phone. And now we actually can pick it up and hold it like this, I don't know if you, and, you know, and text on it. There's so many options. Because we got to call these people when we're screwed, when we're up against the food, you know, when it's ugly. And so I want to be able to call someone and ask them for a recipe, or call someone and see, you know, how, whatever the thing is, how do you, you know, how much thus and such can I have? It's different than the regular amount or whatever. You got to just keep calling these people. And this is one of the times when I'm off topic, but not really. Let's see. Calling people, getting into the center of the heart. Oh, and here's the thing. You're not going to like everyone in Grey Sheet, and everyone in Grey Sheet's not going to like you. And I am saying that because, oh my goodness, the personalities, there is a God, because I'm way too much for some people and not enough for others. I hate that. I got to tell you, I don't like that. I've been through the steps. I've done things a lot of times, and I can let it go, and I can stop pre-resentment most of the time, but it's true. And, so you get an opportunity to mess up and to make amends, and to learn things like there's a season and a reason for everything. People aren't meant to, you know, be our people for the rest of our lives necessarily. So you'll find your tribe within your tribe. Just keep doing it. Just keep weighing and measuring. So when I first, life got really, really ugly for me. I ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. And thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I see you now, Denise. I appreciate the banner and all. You know, I packed around, I was at 225 to 265, say, off and on for probably 15 years. And I was used to going up and down. And quite honestly, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure that it made some difference, but not really. I could lose and gain that weight so, you know, frequently, and it not matter all that much. And I had all those clothing sizes in my closet, and it was long before there were cute stores like Torrid and stuff. It was all, you know, whatever, flowery kinds of, it was all variations of polyester or Oshkosh overalls. And but then I had a particularly bad year. I was going through a divorce. The wife that I was separated from, went off her medication. She has mental illness issues. I was fired from a job. It was bad. And so I took to my bed, not literally, but it feels that way. And I put on another 60 pounds. And that 60 pounds was a really huge deal. No pun in whatever that saying is, the one would say right there. My physical issues really came out there. And so I was in OA by then. That's an important part. I was in OA for 4 years. Really good stuff. Found out I wasn't alone. I was sure I was. I was really different from everyone. No one understood my situation. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. And then there were all these people who, they had my deal. They did the thing. They not only put things in the garbage, but they took things out of the garbage once they'd done really crazy things, like put coffee grounds on it and, they'd take it out. I was like, oh my God, that is so me. They stole from people. They ate in parking lots. They did, they used their keys as a utensil if they didn't have, it's like, oh my God, these are my people. And both simultaneously, these are my people. And oh my God, these people are crazy. But it was really rich, and they did love me until I could love myself a little bit. And, but no one would talk about the food. That's what it seemed. I mean, I would ask people, what are you doing? And even my sponsor was like 3 sensible meals a day, nothing in between, 1 day at a time. Well, 3 sensible meals, this was a man who was very big and tall. And so, his sensible meals were different than mine. Plus I was in the addiction. So, I started off with really small, sensible meals. I really learned about health foods there. So for a long time, once it wasn't working for me, I thought it was okay. I was just overeating on, things that were healthy, different kinds of the white stuff. But, realized that's going to pack on the weight and screw up my brain just as quickly as, the white stuff. So I'd left OA. I had done service there, including, anyhow, I walked into one of their like annual events. And there were 2 women who were not doing the same thing they'd been doing 6 months ago when I'd been into an OA meeting, because they had the glow. And so I went over, and one of them was a woman that I liked. For a lot of reasons, I knew her. I was attracted to her and her program, and I was willing to do whatever she did. I came in crawling. I didn't come into GreySheet to be perfect. I came into GreySheet to save my life. I came into GreySheet to live, and I wasn't even sure that I wanted to do that. But it got, but I knew I had to do something. So, when I started off, some of the key things for me was meetings. There were not Zoom meetings, and there was one live meeting about 45 minutes from my home. But I found out about the phone bridge meetings, and there were lots of meetings, and it was exciting. It's exciting to get on a meeting and talk to all these people who were all over the country, and then occasionally across the pond. It was amazing. I'm very under-traveled, so across the pond thing is so exciting for me. Watch out once the virus is taken care of. I'm going to be all over you guys. So yeah, I got in. Somehow it really, having backup was really ingrained in me to try to mitigate those no matter what when I can. So I have a scale in my car. I'm not working, I'm working at home, so I don't have an office, but when I did, I had backup at the office. So in addition to having food, all of the food categories, I had a scale and batteries. There was a time I have a phone card. Thank you. 1 minute left. Okay. So, what do I want to say? Back up. On a mat. No. Don't be afraid to ask. Whatever the question is, don't be afraid to ask. Put your head down, talk to your sponsor, call other GreySheeters. You're recovered. We put the food on our scale. We weigh and measure our food the same way, but other parts of the program we do differently. I jumped in, I did service, and just recently I learned this, and I told another GreySheeter, you know how I know when I'm doing enough service? When I don't feel guilty when a service position comes up and I don't raise my hand. And that's a miracle to me. It was like, okay, I'm doing the right amount of service. I don't feel guilty that I'm not saying yes to more service. But it's really, in addition to it being slimming, it is another way to expand our community. So I really recommend service. And we gotta give back this gift we were given, because I can't do it on my own. I couldn't do it on my own there in 13 years. I can't. That's time. Thank you so much, Denise. I can't do it on my own still, and it's really worth it, and you're really worth it. And I hope that you heard something that will help your program today, no matter what. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for service, everyone.